the beginning there was God, and God wanted to create. So he brought upon the heavens and the earth. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. He called the light day, and the darkness night. And there was evening and there was morning, the first day. And God said, "Let there be a gulf between the waters to separate water from water." God called the gulf sky, and he saw it was good. And God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear." God called the dry ground land, and the waters sea. And he saw it was good, the third day. Let there be lights in the sky, and there was the sun, moon, and stars. He saw that it was good, the fourth day. And God said, "Let the water teem with living creatures, and the birds fly above the sky." And there was good birds and fish, the fifth day. On the sixth day, God created livestock and creatures that move along the ground and wild animals. Then God made from his own image man, to rule over the creatures. And God saw all was good. The man was named Adam, and lived in the Garden of Eden. And God had Adam name all of the animals, and the humans saw there was two of each, so he became lonely.
I'd like to sing a little song for all of you.
Never needed anyone. Those days are gone.
With it. Yes, get on with it!
Get on with it!
So the Lord caused man to fall into a deep sleep, and he took one of his ribs and formed him a woman, Eve.
God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt. And for when I think
On with it. Yes, get on with it!
Get on with it!
God put two trees in the Garden of Eden, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And from this tree man was not to eat from. Not long after creation, Satan, in the form of a serpent, asked Eve if what God said was really true, and Eve ate from the forbidden tree. Then she gave some to Adam, and they realized they had sinned. They made themselves clothes and hid from God. God called out to them, "Where are you?"
I heard you in the garden, so I hid.
"Who told you you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to?"
Woman's fault, the one you gave me.
Serpent's fault!
Serpents will now crawl the earth, and Jesus will come and destroy you. It will be a real pain to give birth to kids, and man will rule over you. You will work for your food and living, and there will be a pain in the butt. And the Lord drove Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden. Eve gave birth to two sons, Cain and Abel. Abel watched the sheep, and Cain worked in the fields. Abel brought the best to offer to God, while Cain brought whatever. God was pleased with Abel's offering, and Cain was angry. One day Cain took Abel out to the field and killed him. The Lord asked Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" "I don't know," he replied. "Am I my brother's keeper?" God scolded Cain, and Cain complained, and was sent off to wander the earth. Adam and Eve had another son, Seth. Now the world had become corrupt and against the Lord. So God came to a righteous man named Noah, and told him to make an ark, the shape of a shoebox. So on Noah's 600th year, Noah and his family went into the ark along with two of every kind of animal. Then the Lord shut the door after them. Then 7 days later, God sent the floodwaters to rid the world of corruption. For 40 days the water kept on coming, and the flood stayed for over a year. Noah sent out a raven, then a dove, to see if the waters receded. Then he sent out a third dove that came back with an olive leaf. After 7 days, Noah sent out another dove that did not return. When the surface dried, God told Noah to come out. So Noah and his family and all the animals did, and Noah built an altar to God. Isaac's son Jacob worked for his uncle Laban for 7 years. In doing so, he was able to receive Rachel. However, Laban deceived Jacob and gave him his oldest daughter Leah. With another 7 years' work, he was able to have Rachel. Leah had 4 sons, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Rachel was barren and became jealous, so gave Jacob her servant Bilhah to be his wife. Bilhah had 2 sons, Dan and Naphtali. Leah saw that she stopped having children. She also gave Jacob her servant Zilpah. Zilpah gave birth to Gad and Asher. Leah had 2 more sons, Issachar and Zebulun. Later she gave birth to a daughter, Dinah. God listened to Rachel and allowed her to conceive. She had a son, Joseph, and later on would bear Benjamin. Since Jacob truly loved Rachel, these became his favorite sons.